The Crude Life with host Jason Spiess.
My name is Jason Spiess, and this is the Crude Life Daily Update. On today's episode, we talk with Terry Etam. He's an energy writer for the BOE Report and the author of The End of the Fossil Fuel Insanity. In just a moment, part of our exclusive interview with Terry Etam, right here on the Crude Life Daily Update.
Jason Spiess, the most trusted voice in the Bakken.
I totally agree with you, and the word that you brought into this is fact. You tell the facts, and then you let people make up their own minds.
You want someone who's competent. You don't want to get a bunch of rookies.
Love listening to Jason Spiess on the radio, and if I miss him there, I catch him online.
Let's bring in Jason Spiess, who is a multimedia journalist in North Dakota. Jason, what's your thought on this?
No one does an interview like Jason Spiess.
Welcome back to the Crude Life Daily Update. My name is Jason Spiess. Up next, Terry Etam, energy writer for the BOE Report and the author of The End of the Fossil Fuel Insanity.
There's the second-order circumstances that happen when you flood the market with wind power and solar power, and that's been seen in some jurisdictions where they subsidize these installations, so they pay people to put up turbines and solar farms. They generate huge gluts of power. They do for a few hours a day at the wrong time of day, and that drives power prices down, and we've seen some of the established players don't want to be in the industry anymore, like the baseload coal and natural gas facilities. Their business gets that much harder because they don't make as much money off the power, but they have to be there to supply power when the renewables don't. So they create havoc in the system that these people don't even think about the consequence of this. I think in 2018 in California, there was something like over 100 instances where power prices went negative because of the excess being generated by wind and solar. So for these poor power producers that are selling into the grid at the time when that glut is coming on, they're actually losing money for having their plants operating. Well, what kind of an incentive is that? And how does that work in the long run? It just doesn't work. And especially if you take in context the fact that, now you can look at a place like Texas or North Dakota or the Bakken or Marcellus or wherever, and you can look at these areas and say, oh, yes, you do have a big environmental footprint. Your emissions are high. But consider why they're high. The U.S. produces 12 million barrels a day of oil, which is 12% of global energy. Just think of that for a second. 12% of global energy. Now, that has to have an environmental footprint. Anything that's 12% of the global economy is going to have a massive environmental footprint. If you take all of the iPhones that they won't live without, or their cell phones, what's the environmental footprint of a cell phone? The cell phone has 78 elements on the periodic table out of 118.
To listen to the full-length interview with Terry Etam, energy writer for the BOE Report and an author of The End of the Fossil Fuel Insanity, visit thecrudelife.com. That's thecrudelife.com. Be sure to follow, subscribe, and like our social media pages. Over 350,000 followers we have at the Crude Life Media Network. Go to thecrudelife.com and click on our social media tab and subscribe today. From the staff at the Crude Life Daily Update, my name is Jason Spiess, asking you to keep calm and frack on.